For a long time, the American right wing has been using their narrow and myopic, cartoonish, outdated view of masculinity and femininity to attack anybody they can on the left, of course. You might remember back in the 2004 presidential election, a big narrative, a big movement was feminize John Kerry. John Kerry was the Democratic presidential nominee in 2004, running against George W. Bush, who was the Republican running for reelection. And the story was Bush is masculine. He clears brush with a chainsaw in Texas. He throws a baseball well. And on the other hand, the storyline from these right-wingers was John Kerry is feminine because he windsurfed, spoke French, imagine, speaking another language now is feminine, and once sort of fumbled a football that was thrown to him. And of course, this in and of itself didn't really fit the facts. The facts were Kerry was the military veteran who served in combat in Vietnam. Bush was able to be barely involved in the military thanks to family connections. By their own standards, Kerry should have been seen as the masculine one, but it didn't matter. The tactic is you feminize the person in the Democratic Party. But okay, that was 2004. We hadn't really seen this tactic during COVID, except for the occasional wearing a mask is gay type of stuff that we've previously covered on the show. They are now really upping the ante on that talking point. Fox News propagandist Tucker Carlson, during an interview with British right-winger Nigel Farage, said that getting COVID, not getting the vaccine, getting COVID, you get sick with COVID, it feminizes you, it makes you more like a woman. Let's take a look at the clip.
Leadership quality.
Yes.
We're going to go and climb that hill. And here's why we want to do it. And we invite you, the public, to come with us on that journey.
Amen.
That is leadership. And Boris, just with the best will in the world, doesn't have that. And we've seen more U-turns in policy from the Johnson government than I've seen in any government in my lifetime.
Yes.
And
in a very embarrassing way.
Oh, some of it's been shocking.
So somebody who knows him told me, and I should be interested in getting your take on this, that getting COVID emasculated him. It changed him. It feminized him. It weakened him as a man. Do you think that's...
Well, I think he was very seriously ill.
Oh, for sure he was.
And I think... one of the things we have learned from COVID is people who are 50, 60, 70, 80 pounds overweight tend to have fared very badly.
Sure.
Now, we don't talk about it
But
much.
the virus itself, this is true, does tend to take away the life force in some people, I notice. I mean, it does feminize people. No one ever says that, but it's true.
Look, I think the virus did affect him, but I think, let's be honest about it, it's the new wife, isn't it? I mean, it's, Carrie Johnson, or as she's now called, Carrie Antoinette, which the historians like.
Now, of course, if this is true, if getting sick from COVID is feminine, all those right-wing radio hosts who denounced the vaccine, didn't get vaccinated, ultimately got COVID and died, that's very, very feminine. By this metric that Tucker Carlson is laying out for us. I actually got hit with this firsthand. I don't know how many of you remember, a few years ago, I fainted on an airplane. I've fainted a few times in my life, just sort of a combination of dehydration, elevation, coffee, alcohol, bad combination of stuff. And when I told the story, some people commented on YouTube, what a sissy. And others said it was a medical event, it's not feminine or masculine. It's just a medical reality. And that's essentially the same thing that Tucker is doing here. Now, there's one other funny thing about this. These right-wingers don't apply this standard to their own. None of them said, feminized Herman Cain, what a woman, when he got COVID and died. He was a friend of Trump. He was a Republican. Jordan Peterson has been in and out of all sorts of treatments for, near 2 years now? I guess he's out now, but he was in for close to a couple of years. Hospitals in Eastern Europe, etc. They never said how feminine of Jordan Peterson. And in fact, he still had his fans and acolytes hanging on his every word. So as usual, it's a silly idea. It's a dumb idea. Disease as feminine. It's being sick as feminine. But they also only apply it when it's convenient to their narrative. I actually do think, maybe some of you would disagree, major progress has been made on some of this stuff. And fortunately, more of the population in the US don't see this bizarre, narrow definition of masculinity as relevant. Men hug more now in US culture than before. It's been no big deal in most cultures for a long time. In the US, there was more of a that's gay, man. But it's diminished to some degree. So I actually think on this particular issue, some progress has been made, but it still persists in many, many places. And as usual, it's the hypocritical application of these standards that's particularly nonsensical. So no real surprise. I genuinely don't think Tucker believes any of this stuff. And you and I, meaning people in the audience, have called in before to talk about, is Tucker for real? Is he pretending the anti-vax stuff? He's certainly vaccinated, right? I'm sure all his family was vaccinated the first day they became eligible. I don't know. But my instinct is I think Tucker's a terrible person because he's willing to do this stuff. But I'm leaning towards it's all BS. I don't really think he believes more than half of these nonsense talking points that he comes up with. I think it's for the show. I think it's performative. I think it's for ratings. And that's nothing I would ever do. You all know if I tell you something on this show, it's actually what I believe. Let me know what you think. You can find me on Twitter at dpacman. Is Tucker for real with these talking points, or are they just performative? Also remember that tomorrow is the last and final David Pakman Show viewer town hall of the year. 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, Tuesday, December 14th. It'll be streaming live on the Pakman Live YouTube channel. And if you want to participate, you can get connected on the David Pakman Show Discord at davidpakman.com/Discord.
Science has shown us that lowering your body temperature at night helps you sleep. I can't sleep in a hot room. That's why I love our sponsor, Chili Sleep, which makes customizable, climate-controlled sleep solutions to sleep better. Their flagship products are the Uller sleep system and the Cube sleep system, which is what I have. Both are hydro-powered, temperature-controlled luxury mattress pads. You can make them as cold as 55 degrees Fahrenheit. If you wanted, you could go as hot as 115 degrees. I like the cooler option. I keep mine at 60 degrees, and it gives me a great cool night of sleep. No feeling hot, no more sweating. I'm falling asleep faster, and it pairs perfectly with Chili Sleep's weighted Chili Blanket, which keeps you cold on top, too. Right now, Chili Sleep is running a special sale. You'll get 30% off everything when you go to chilisleep.com/Pakman. The link is right underneath this video.